everybody, welcome to another week of Pilates plus Physio. I hope you're all feeling good. Today we are going to be using the roll again. So you either want to get a spare mat and roll it up really tight, or a big bath towel, roll it up tight, maybe tie it with a couple of bits of string or an elastic band, and you need your yoga brick or a little pile of books and your normal mat. Okay, so I'm just going to start off just in standing anyway. So standing nice and tall, think of that balloon coming from the back of your head, taking you up towards the sky. Just alternate heel lifts, so just sort of pedaling through the feet, just warm up the ankles a little bit. Nice and open across the front of the chest, chin gently tucking in. So either think of that balloon, or imagine you've got big long sort of pixie ears taking you up towards the ceiling. Just nice and smooth. Great, okay. And then just switch that to bringing your knee up in front, alternate legs. So just knee folds, so your back is staying straight, it's the hip bending without your back automatically bending at the same time. A little bit of balance having to do as well. Normal breathing. That's great. Okay. Both feet back on the ground. Just really feel your feet on the floor. So you've got your heels down. Think of the weight going along the side of your foot to your little toe and then across to your big toes. And then just float both arms up in front. So both arms going all the way up towards the ceiling and coming back down again. So you could breathe with that. Maybe breathe in as the arms float up and breathe out as they come back down again. And again, breathing in, both arms up, and breathe out as they come down. How about going out sideways this time? Breathe in, both arms all the way up, breathing out as you come down. And again, breathing in, arms going all the way up, and breathe out as you come down. And one more, breathing in, arms all the way up, and come down. Bring both arms up in front, and you're just opening the arms right out to the sides. So think elbows back, then let the hands go back. Bring the wrists forward, arms forward. So elbows going back, hands back. Bring the wrists forward, arms forward. Lovely. Nice and smooth. Opening right the way out and coming back. Really opening out through the front of the chest, getting a nice stretch for those arm muscles. Lovely. Bring the arms down. A little bit of balancing, so if your balance isn't great, maybe stand near something to put a finger on. Let's do one foot right in front of the other one. So heel touching your big toe. If you're wobbly, you could slightly offset your feet. So just feel your feet on the ground. Those feeling steady, maybe turn your head to the left and come back. Turn to the right and back. Look all the way down at your feet, and then eyes along the floor, up the wall, up the ceiling if you can, back into the center. Good. Swap your feet over. So one foot forward, one back, heel touching your big toe. Get the weight fairly even between the two. Turning left and back. Turning right and back. Looking all the way down to the floor. Eyes along the floor. Up the wall. Up the ceiling. Back into the center. Fantastic. Okay. Then you want to lie yourself down on the mat. So So you want to put the roll lengthwise along your mat. You want your bottom right at the end of it. So stick your bottom on the end, and then when you're lying on it, so when you put your hand over the top of your shoulders, you're just touching the top of the roll. Yeah, so your whole spine is on the roll. You need your head on the brick, so something quite thick for your head, otherwise the head's dropping back. So knees bent, legs just a little way apart, sort of hip width apart. You can feel the top of the roll over the top of your shoulders, and you've got your bottom on the other end of it. If you don't like using the roll, you can do the exercises without the roll, that's fine. So maybe just rest one hand or both hands on your tummy. And just think of some gentle breathing down into the tummy. So as you breathe in, your tummy comes up. And as you breathe out, your tummy goes down. Good. Okay. Remember, if at any time you get fed up lying on the roll, just come off it. So both hands up towards the roof, and just take one arm back over the top of your head towards the wall at the back, and come back up, and the other arm back. So elbows staying straight. So think of just reaching and lengthening with the arm as you go back over. Nice and smooth. Just watch you're not gripping behind your knees. You should feel something going on through the lower tummy, like it's just gently drawing in as the arms go back, and then just keep that drawn in feeling as you bring the arm back up. And then maybe both arms going back together. And come back up. Both arms back together. And draw back up. And one more. Both arms back together. And back up. Okay, both arms out sideways now. So really opening right out. And come back up. Don't worry if you don't get all the way to the floor, you're just going out in that direction. So like you're giving somebody a great big hug. Nice stretch across the pec muscles, across the front of the chest. So right the way open. Could bring the feet a little bit closer together, or move your feet slightly closer to your bottom if you're feeling nice and steady. Okay. Next time, just one arm going out to the side, which is a little bit more challenging because obviously you're working asymmetrically. One arm out to the side, other one staying up towards the roof at the moment. Okay, next time, how about one arm going back, one arm going sideways. And back up. One arm going back, one arm going sideways. And back up. One arm back. Oh, wanting to sneeze. One arm back, one arm sideways. One arm back, one arm sideways. Lovely. Okay. Bring your arms down. Maybe rest them just lightly on the floor to start with. Slide one leg down the mat, push out through the bottom of your foot. So just a heel slide. Alternate legs. Slide the leg down, push out through the bottom of your foot. If it feels nice and easy, you could fold your arms across your tummy or cross your arms across your chest. So the idea is the pelvis stays level. So you're just using all those deep little core muscles to keep you balancing on the roll. So alternate legs, remember toes up towards you, imagine something underneath your foot, you're pressing that out away from you. You don't want to be working too hard, so if you're feeling that you have to brace everything and you're being tempted to hold your breath, just drop back a level, so maybe pop the arms back on the mat. So you just want those little deep muscles that are right in close to the bone to be working, not the more superficial ones like hamstrings in front of the thigh. You don't want them gripping away. Great. Okay, switch that now to just folding one leg up and placing it down. So think of a couple of helium balloons tied onto your ankle. And just floating that leg up so the hip is bending, knee staying at about a right angle. Nice and smooth as you go down. You don't want to hear your foot thumping down onto the floor. So keep it feeling easy. Just getting that hip to bend. Great, okay. And then either arms back on the floor or keep them across your chest. This time you're dropping a knee out to the side and bringing it back up. So if you had two little laser beams pointing from your hip bones, they're pointing up to the roof and they're not moving. Or the leg that's not moving isn't actually moving. You're not counterbalancing by moving that out to the other side. So one knee stays still, the other one drops out to the side. Arms on the floor again or across your chest. Again, just watch you're not tightening up through the neck, you're not gripping the jaw. Good, okay. Let's challenge things a bit more. Maybe fold one leg up. Take your hands to the ceiling. So, one leg up, one arm back over the top of your head. Bring it back up. Other arm back. And back up. Both arms back. And back up. Both arms back. And back up. One arm back, one arm sideways. One arm back, one arm sideways. Oh, not so good on that side. Great. Pop that foot down. Fold the other one up. If it's too difficult with the leg off, then just keep your foot on the ground or maybe keep a big toe on the floor. One arm back, draw it back up. Other one back, back up. Both arms back. And back up. Both arms back and back up. One arm back, one arm out to the side. And come back up. See if you can keep it really smooth. One arm back, one arm to the side. Need a bit more practice than that. One arm back, one arm sideways. And come back up. One arm back, one arm sideways. Give your body time to work out what it needs to be sort of switching on. Pop that leg down. What about same arm and leg? So leg sliding out, arm going back over the top of your head. And come back up. So same arm and leg. Left arm, left leg. And up. Right arm, right leg. And up. Left arm, left leg. So you could either have your heel sliding along the mat, or you could have your heel just above the mat. Diagonal arm and leg. So right arm and left leg. Left arm and right leg. Don't worry if you get in a muddle. Just moving the arms and legs, but preferably right arm and left leg, left arm, right leg. Great, okay, bring the arms down, maybe just roll yourself sideways to come off the roll. Take it out from underneath you, come back onto your back, pop the roll to one side. Take out or swap the head block for a slightly thinner one. Maybe bring your knees up to your chest, cross the ankles, hang on to the knees. A little bit of gentle rocking your knees up to your chest to start with. Nice gentle rocks, just in case you've got any tightness through your lower back. And then maybe take the knees in a bit of a circle. So you're coming up the side of your back, across the middle, down the other side, across your tailbone, back up. Nice circles. And then going around the other way. That's good. Lovely. Okay. Pop your feet down. Feet nice and close to your bottom. Press into your feet, curl your bottom up. So coming up into a spine curl and roll back down. Top bit of your back, then the next bit, then the next bit. So even pressure through your feet. I'm thinking of the front of your hips going to the ceiling, not your tummy or your chest. Little pause at the top, roll back down. Top bit of your back, then the next bit, then the next bit. And just release at the end. Press into your feet, curl your bottom up. And roll back down again. And again, pressing into your feet, curling up. Nice and smooth. And roll all the way down. And again, just curling up. And roll back down. Lovely. Slide one leg down flat. Maybe turn the foot out slightly. So if it's your left foot, think of pointing your big toes to 11 o'clock. If it's your right foot, point your big toes to 1 o'clock. Pelvis staying level. Just lifting and lowering that leg. So straight leg lift. Knee really straight. Keeping that little bit of a hollow through your lower back. So imagine a couple of Maltesers tucked between your back and the floor. You're just keeping them in place, but you're not crushing them as the leg comes up. Or you've got a Malteser sitting in the middle of your tummy. It's not rolling from side to side as you move. Front of the thigh doing most of the work. And just one more. Good. Draw that leg up. Slide the other one down. Foot turning out slightly. Float it up. So you could imagine a sort of hammock underneath your thigh. And some nice person just bringing the leg up, giving you a bit of assistance and lowering it back down again. So you're strengthening the front of the thigh muscle. Hamstring at the back is having to let go and lengthen a bit. Those deep core muscles are having to work a little bit just to keep the pelvis level. Couple more. Good, lovely. Okay. Bend the knees, both knees bent, feet down flat. Maybe pop your hands underneath your head. Elbows right back and wide. We're just doing a little curl up. So tuck in the chin, scoop in the lower tummy, engage your pelvic floor muscles. Lift up the top half, looking down over the top of the knees and release back down. So the elbows stay back and wide. Little chin nod, curl up. Think of sliding your ribs down the front and release. Straight tummy muscle. Again, watch you're not gripping at the back of the knees. Keep the elbows right back. Little chin nod first, curl up and release down. Little chin nod, curl up and release. And again, curl up. This time maybe just come down an inch or two and back up. And then come down about halfway and back up. Come down 3/4 and back up, and release all the way down to the floor. Lovely. Let your head just relax on the mat. Gently turn your head one way and back, turn your head the other way. That's great. Okay. And then come over onto hands and knees. So, hands underneath your shoulders, fingers nice and wide, sort of fingers, index finger maybe pointing straight up to the top of the mat, head in line with the rest of your back, a little bit of a hollow through your lower back, draw your tummy up away from the floor, chin tucking in. Imagine a nice large cappuccino sitting on your bottom, keep that balance there, slide one leg back, and float it up so that your bottom is still level. Hold there and slide that leg back in. Switch sides. Keep that feeling of really pressing the floor away from you. Slide the leg back, float it up. Hold there and come back in. Switch sides. So even as you're switching from one leg to the other, keep that image of the cappuccino or your granny's best teacup and saucer sitting on your bottom. Keep that there. Slide back, float up. Again, press the floor away from you. Imagine there's a little candle on the mat underneath your chest. You've got to keep pushing away from that. Slide back, float up. Hold it there. And back in. Good, okay. Take your knees apart, maybe sort of almost as wide apart as the mat. Bottom right back to your heels. Stretch your fingers out in front, curl your head right down, and then shuffle your fingers over to the right side of the mat. Breathe into the left side of your ribs. And then shuffle your fingers over to the left side of the mat. So you could put your right hand on top of your left hand. Breathe into the right side of your ribs. And come back into the middle. Come back up onto hands and knees. Press the floor away from you. Maybe tuck your toes underneath. Lift your bottom up towards the ceiling. So tummy in, let your head just dangle, just pedaling out through the feet. So like a down dog in yoga, bottom all the way up to the sky. Press right out through one heel, press right out through the other. So alternate knee bending. Just go easy with this one if you've got sciatic pain, because it's quite a nerve stretch position as well. Nice one, really gets the calf muscles lengthening and stretching out. Great, okay. Back onto hands and knees. Feet down flat, bottom back to your heels again a moment. Just a child's pose. Breathe into the back of the ribs. Lovely. Okay, back onto hands and knees, turn back onto your back a moment. We'll just do a back of the buttock stretch, so ankle of one leg onto the knee of the other one. Flop that knee out. You can either just stick with that or hold behind the thigh of the foot that's on the floor. Pull that towards you. If you can't reach behind your thigh, you could get a towel or your exercise band, wrap that round and hang on to it that way. You could just gently add in straightening that leg that you're holding on to and letting it bend. So just gently straighten that leg. You could do toes up towards you as well. and release. And again, coming all the way up, toes up, and release. And one more. Good, pop that leg down, swap legs. So ankle onto your knee, flop the knee out. Either just press that knee away from you, or hold behind the thigh of the foot that's on the floor, pull that in towards you. You can just stick with that, or gently straighten the leg you're hanging onto, and let it bend. Straightening up, and let it bend. And again, straightening up, and let it bend. And again, straightening up, let it bend. And one more, straighten up, let it bend. Great, okay, pop the feet down. Arms right out to the sides. So arms out to the sides. Cross your left leg over your right leg. So left leg over the right. Shuffle your right foot to the left edge of the mat. And then drop both knees over to your right. So it's a twisting stretch. Knees going to the right. So back of your shoulders staying stuck on the ground. Gently breathing into that as you breathe out. See if you can just relax into the stretch a little bit more. Lovely. Okay, draw in the tummy. Knees back up into the middle. Shuffle your foot back to the centre of the mat. Uncross your legs. So cross your right leg over your left leg. Just normal legs crossing like you do when you're sitting. Shuffle your left foot to the right edge of the mat. Drop both knees over to your left. Good. And just lie there, just relax into the stretch. Think of breathing down into the tummy. Or if you've got areas that feel really tight, just think of gently breathing into that tightness. Lovely. Okay, draw the tummy in, knees back up into the middle, uncross your legs, slide both legs right down flat, let the legs just flop out, both arms take them right back over the top of your head, all the way back, and then bring your arms down beside you. Think of really opening out through the shoulders. Maybe shut your eyes if you're feeling comfortable. Just gentle breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth if you can. Think of really letting things go. Just let your body sink down into the mat. Maybe breathe in as you count to 3 and breathe out as you count to 4. And again, breathing in as you count to 3. And breathe out as you count to 4. Some of you might want to stay there and just do a little bit more relaxation. Otherwise, we'll finish there. Thank you so much for joining me again. Hopefully see you again very soon when we'll do something again, a little bit different. Okay, bye-bye for now.